All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Christina, and you are watching the Hey Vel Krista YouTube channel. So, shout out to you if you are stopping through to watch this video. I'm so excited to have these lovely ladies. Am I pointing in the right direction? On this side of the screen, we have Whitney Weston and Aaron Boyd with us from Puretone Academy. So,
Yes.
if you, yes, welcome. Round of applause.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, hey. So I'm so excited to have Whitney and Aaron with us, you guys. This is actually something that I talked to Whitney about doing a long time ago. I was like, Whitney, at some point with YouTube and collab, and her and Aaron, I've had a chance to talk to them, and this is really, really a full circle moment for us. So thank you again for stopping through. So this is a part of our Hey Bel Krista community highlights. This is to inspire small business owners as well as anyone that is in any industry to support small business. So we are doing these highlights so that you can be able to get to know behind the scenes. You're going to see some fun behind the scenes of Puretone over the next couple of days. Make sure that you go to the Hey Bel Krista social media pages for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I'll be having some of those things on my personal page as well. Everything is linked down below. So if you are willing and want to be able to support these awesome ladies, you can go to their website. I'm going to have more about that in just a little bit, but we are going to go ahead and jump in. So you guys know, if you're new here, the first thing that we do is our Bel Krista Admin. So if you don't know, I also am a virtual assistant full-time with Bel Krista Administrative Solutions. So I'm providing administrative services. Whitney is one of my awesome clients with Puretone. So we are going to go through some admin systems, this is always fun for me with my clients too, because I'm like, let me see what you got going on. So we're going to fly through this real quick with Whitney and Aaron and talk about some of the things with their admin systems, how they feel their admin systems are working. Okay. So first question for you is, I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you. Ready?
We are ready.
Okay, perfect. Here we go. So first question is, what admin systems do you use to keep yourself organized? So what do you use to keep up with your parents, your students, when you're going into your classes and different stuff like that? What's some things that you use to keep your business organized?
Well, first we use My Music Staff, which was created for music teachers, especially private voice teachers. So that has been definitely a lifesaver because it is also, of course, used by parents. It's the parent portal. It's like the hub of everything Puretone, as far as on the admin stuff for parents and for the teachers.
Nice. And that's your main one that you guys use?
Yes. That is the main one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when the students and everyone are coming in, are you checking them in on My Music Staff? Are you doing like a pen and paper check-in to track their time in their lessons?
We're using My Music Staff, absent, present, if I cancel, all of that's there. Everything is in that one spot.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds awesome because the all-in-one, we love an all-in-one CRM where everything can go. And if you guys don't know too, and if you're just starting out too, because I've had a chance, to work with Whitney in My Music Staff, they have a lot of options that are available for you if you're just getting started and you're doing everything by yourself. So they offer the website that you can have, being able to keep up with your payments too, right, Whitney?
Yes,
registration, all of that kind of stuff. They'll let you do the newsletters and everything. So it really is a good all-in-one. So
it is.
All right. Awesome. So tell me then too, what are your top 3 things? And I'll say this too for both of you. What are your top 3 things with you being teaching your lessons, everything? What are your top 3 things that you have to be able to get through like your work day?
I would say for my top 3 things would definitely be my plans, like my agenda for the day, whether that be with my planner, in my mind, on a sticky note, but it has to be I have to have a game plan every day, and I have to have it. The best way is to have it written out so it won't be my brain bogging me down. The other thing, of course, is my laptop. That's where the programs come in at. We do a lot of YouTube, supplementing with YouTube for lessons and things like that. And then of course, my equipment, the pianos, the keyboards, those things are so my laptop, my pianos, and then of course my agenda, something that holds my lessons, those type things. So
yeah.
Gotcha. What about for you, Erin?
She hit it on the head. I know for me, like definitely I have to have something that I write with. Like I'm looking in what I got with me right now. And like even the fact that we just dropped in today is like, what do I have in this bag right now? I got my notebook so I can write, have the phone ready, those things that we put in our notes and whatnot. Having water, okay? Hydrated, taking care of your health.
Hashtag not sponsored, but
vocally just being ready in general, because when we're doing our lessons, we are moving around. And we might do something, you be like, hold up. I need to take a breath. I need water. And I have forgotten it. So like notebook, water, plans.
Yes, I think y'all did a great job of hitting that on the head, because to me it sounds like too is balance. It's balance for you being able to get through your day with the kids, with the parents, for yourself, and making sure all the way around everything is taken care of. Well, kudos to you, and 1,000,000,000% on the water. Okay, y'all know me. These ladies know me. I go nowhere without my water jug, my water bottle. Always got to make sure you have to keep yourself healthy, guys. You have to. And we talked in the summer reset series. If you haven't checked it out, please make sure you go check it out. But taking care of yourself, you being able to make sure you have. This is a conversation. This is completely outside the admin, but this is a conversation that I've had with Whitney before, because I'm one of those people that runs. I will run until I absolutely cannot run anymore. So it's easy for you to get all the way through the day, or different stuff like that, and it's like you haven't taken care of yourself. You still have to give yourself something to run up, especially as we advance in age. Yourself. Okay.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, my last question is to you guys. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's like Family Feud. I'm just kidding. On a scale of 1 to 10, how organized would you say your admin systems are? What you're running on? What would you give yourself out of a 10?
I would say my admin system gets an 8, but the person running the admin, she got to get it together. Like she's probably like a 4 or 3 or 4. But my systems work. We have plans. We have plans, and it's like, okay, we got to walk them out. We got to walk these systems out. We can plan them out, but we got to walk them out. So help us, Lord. We need prayer on that.
Listen, as we always say, we're gonna work on it.
Work on it. But we love the systems, but I'm the same thing. Like we've talked about like that execution. Like let's
just gotta do it.
Ooh. Yes. And so what would you say too would be your thing that you feel like will help to prompt you to be able to lock in that system so that the person and the systems catch themselves up? What do you feel like you need?
Honestly, for me, it's very simple. It's just the first step. I was thinking about this yesterday, how mentally I will be in one of the books that I've read before, the group that I was part of. It's like analysis paralysis. Because when we think about the first step, we're thinking about, my husband always says, Whitney, you're always trying to find, you're thinking about the step, but you're also thinking about the answer too, and what will happen. So it'll stop me. It'll stop me in my tracks, because it's like, oh, but I don't have this. But really, it's just about showing up and taking step number 1. You just have to show up and just do one thing. And I find myself when I do that, the ball rolls. It just goes.
Yes. Yeah. Erin, do you agree too with the same thing?
I wholeheartedly agree, because that is definitely, I've learned, I think, especially in this past season, like I've wondered like how the whole picture, sometimes I'm very abstract. And if I don't feel, I'm driven by feelings sometimes. So if it doesn't feel this, or if I feel nervous, I'm a little apprehensive to do the things. But then I notice, like when I do take the baby step and all that, like literally the next step shows up as you show up. And so,
Yes. That's so good. The next step shows up as you show up. And like you said, Whitney, get into giving yourself that first step, just giving yourself that first step. And I know this is something whenever I sit down, and it's more so the consultation side of what I'm doing usually with virtual assisting and soundboarding, I'm doing the same thing with myself, because it depends on too, I feel like how your brain works and you go through things. Everybody's a little bit different. For some of us, you see the full picture at the end and it's like, okay, now I got to work myself backwards. And for some of us, it's like, okay, I see here, but I'm not quite sure where this is going. So you have to understand the best way that you're going to be able to work and be able to do things. But at the end of the day, it really is just giving yourself that first step and saying, okay, I got this, and not overwhelming yourself too quickly, because you will put yourself, like you said, analysis paralysis, and all of a sudden you're not moving at all. You're not doing anything at all. Everything is just passing past you. And I know I've heard a lot of big brands and big creators, content creators, influencers, people that are doing stuff. They really talk about how, people see where they are. And of course, now everything moves like, nothing for them, but they had to start somewhere too. They started at zero too. And that's the part I feel of social media and where we are kind of as a society. You're seeing this finished product, but even in the finished product that we're seeing, it's still advancing. And it's continually growing. So it's really easy to get really hard on yourself and just be like, oh, I have to make this happen right now. But taking that step and then seeing how things are able to grow and evolve are definitely important. That was absolutely amazing. And it's going to be great for us to be able to shift into the next part of this video, which is going to be our interview. But that was our Bell Krista Ad Minute. Thank y'all so much for sharing with us, because we all have to find those different ways, like you said, to get started. But a lot of it for small business owners is going to be on your back end systems. There are a lot of ideas out there, y'all, that sound absolutely fantastic, but you have to have some type of way that you start. And a lot of that is with your systems. In place, how you're going to get there. So we are going to go ahead and jump into your Inspire interview. If you are not following along, make sure you're following along. But our Inspire interview, again, you guys, is a chance for you to be able to get to know these business owners behind the scenes, see their small business journey. And I'm really excited for us to get into this one. So let's go ahead and start these questions. All right. So this is our Inspire virtual interview, how we are getting to know Puretone Academy. So there's been a lot of evolution, like we just talked about, in Puretone Academy, but it has been how many years now, Whitney?
Oh my gosh, like we're going into 7.
7 years.
I'm just gonna sit and think about that. No, I'm sorry. 8. New beginning.
Okay,
8 years.
Okay. 8 years, y'all. 8 years in small business, and business is no small feat. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank God.
That is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit too about Whitney and Puretone. The whole group of Puretone definitely holds a special place for me, because Whitney was one of my very first virtual assistant clients. When I sat down and talked to her, I was doing dance at the time. I was her choreographer. Doing dance, believe it or not. I will not be posting any dancing on this channel.
You were amazing. You were amazing, girl.
There's plenty of videos that are out there. If you can find them, have at it. But I won't be posting them here. No, I'm kidding. I might post one or two. We'll see. But I thoroughly enjoy working with Whitney and doing choreography for her and the kids. I feel like, man, that was such a long time ago now. Wow. But it really helped me to be able to be with Whitney and with the kids. It helped me to be in a space where I was serving the community by helping her, and to be essentially accountable and keep my head in a good place. And when you're a young adult, that's a very crucial piece to be able to have, and especially to have somebody that you're under that's also in a good space. It's like, you got this, just always encouraging. So when I made the transition and I was like, well, I'm about to do virtual assistant, she's like, girl, let's do it. Do it. Let's go.
Yes.
And so one thing I can also say about Whitney is she's very, very open, very, very humble. So when it comes to doing different things for the business and working with different people, different artists, different producers, she gives you so much space. So having those conversations, a lot of times she's like, okay, well, what do you think? Okay, well, you know, what do you think about this? You know, and she gives you the space to be able to say, okay, well, let's plan this together. Let's do this together. So when I transitioned to that space, she's like, well, girl, we're already planning and doing stuff. Like, let's just do it. And I'm like, okay. So having this support really helped me to be like, okay, I think maybe this is something that I can do. So, you know, I just had to put that out there because.
Yes.
But I want to let you give us the backstory on Puretone, but I want to talk to you about how you got started doing this. You were an educator previously. So tell me about how you really started your journey with Puretone.
I'm asking you, Christina, like, do you want the G-rated version?
Give us
the drama.
So
so basically, like you said, I am a music educator, just no longer in the classroom. And I taught about that. I think I was teaching, I went back to grad school and got a degree in divergent learning. And that thing just opened my mind up because it showed us how kids learn different ways, musically, logically, kinesthetically, all of these things. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like there's just so many different ways that they can get music. And music is one of those things. It's one of those tools. And so I was pretty encouraged at first. I say 2016 I started, but really in 2013, I started dabbling in private lessons. So I did that for a little bit, kind of like, you know, that tapered off. But I kept in my chorus programs where I taught at, I was like, you know what? I didn't always want to do the standard music, you know, sing your song, we clap and we sit down. Never. I was like, that's not me. You know, that's boring to me. You know, no offense to that, but it's not enough. I want something where the kids can express themselves. They can, like, we can really see them. And so you would see like these productions that we would have. And my husband was like, Whitney, you can do this for yourself. Like you can do this on your own. And he kept saying that. I'm like, nah, you know, I'm just doing stuff. And so in 2016, I got a really fantastic group of young people who, I mean, dynamic singers. The Lord always sent me great kids in my program from day one. Like from I've always had really great jewels in my program. Yes. But this particular year, I took this group to New York. I also had in my head, because a lot of them were just really just great singers, I was like, we need to record. And so I'm sending them I'm sending the parents, I'm getting the parents permission. I'm getting, I'm thinking, hey, yes, we're going to record. I'm going to show y'all the recording studio live, how that goes. Yeah. I'm so excited. They're excited and things like that. And so I got parent permission. We met on a Saturday at a recording studio. I go back to school. I'm like, I'm telling some teachers, I'm telling the admin, and y'all, I told the admin and I got suspended. Because I never knew. Like, what? Jesus.
They were like, hold on a second now.
Y'all wanted some drama. So let me tell you. So of course, I was like, I didn't understand why, because I'm thinking, hey, I'm following my normal protocol. What's up? Yeah. So in that time, those weeks, I was not let go, but I was just suspended. They were doing a quote unquote investigation about it. And I'm like, Lord, what is going on? Y'all, I promise you, my husband and I, we started brainstorming. We're going to do a camp in the summertime. We're going to get kids, got X, Y, and Z. This is Puretone Academy. My son, he did the right here. I was like, Noah, I need a logo. And my son, he's the one that came up with that. We were like, okay, because I don't know if I'm going to have me a job. I'm just going to be honest. So push come to shove, just to kind of let everybody know, just so you can breathe. What it was like an ethics thing, like business, between business and personal. And they explained it to me. There wasn't anything, I didn't get, like, it wasn't even on my file. They were just like, they just wanted to, just investigate and things like that. And they did see how I did, like, get permission and all of that. No money was exchanged, none of that stuff. It was just, they were just like, you can't do that. And I was like, okay, I won't do it. But God is so good, because my heart and what I was trying to do is what I do now. And so I was doing it, but not in my own space. And so when I did, the camp kicked off. So I got my job. I still was in my job, but that summer we kicked off the first Puretone Academy music camp. Oh my goodness, those 3 weeks were amazing. It just, oh Lord, I mean, the choreography, the singing, the dancing, and acting. That's what we did. I wrote music. I wrote musicals. It was just, my creative juices were just, just flowing. Because I felt like the kids needed more than just, just the typical, and I'm not pushing musicals that are already out there, but I wanted to write something that would speak to middle school students. And so that's what we came up with, In the Making, middle school musical, In the Making. And man, oh man, those kids still today, I'm riding through rushes, and this girl is like, you remember me? I remember that song you wrote. I'm like, thank you, Lord. And so, it's just been history ever since. It's just been growing and, like you say, evolving since then. But I realized that, that had to happen. Number one, for me, the analysis paralysis, Whitney would have still been on her job trying to, like, I don't know, should I? No, that put some fire up under me. So that's why I tell people that, not to bash my school, not to bash where I come from, but let me tell you, it helped me. It launched me into getting up and doing something about what God had laid on my heart. So that's how it started.
Yes, listen, and I really did. I'm glad that you share every part of that, because again, it's not always your typical way that you think that things are going to happen, and how you step out on doing different things. When I first started, I remember sharing with you, I went through agency first and had started off and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to do this maybe for like a year or two, something like that, because it's like, you're still kind of weeble wobbling, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. But at the same time, it's like, I see everything that I'm going to have to do, like going truly fully out there, and really trusting God. It's always going to be those couple of things, and it feels, for a fact, that this is something that you're supposed to be doing, and then you're like, okay, how is this all about to come together?
Right.
I mean, those are the things that happen that we hear in a lot of people's stories. It's like, what in the world? And then you see them continue on, into their businesses, into impacting their communities and doing these different things. But it's often like, looks so insane at first. Like, what am I doing? What's going on?
It's really a faith walk. It's really a faith walk, walking by faith and not by what you see. Like, and it could be scary, but it's a faith walk.
Yes, I love that. I love that so much. And we're going to also get to Erin and how she got started with you. But I want to also talk about what are some of the things that you are offering. I know you talked about some of the things that you've done, and y'all, Whitney, like I've said, Whitney has done so many things. The creativity, I think, just really always, even in the music lessons and the piano lessons, the creativity, I feel like it's always what it comes back to for the parents and the kids that become involved. And they're just always, like you said too, those kids that they just have like that, man, and they just need that push and encouragement. But tell me too about what you are offering through Puretone Academy right now.
Okay. So right now, we're doing music lessons. We're teaching voice and we're teaching piano, but we're doing it in a community, a music learning community, mostly semi-private, groups, very small groups. Erin here is just, very, very much more savvier than I am in the recording stuff. Like, and she's always willing to try and figure things out. And so I love that about her.
Mhm.
And so we're going to be incorporating creativity. So that's one of the things. So they're going to learn, they're going to learn their technique. They're going to learn performance, but they're also going to be able to create their own music. And I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That never gets old. You know what I'm saying? It never gets old because these kids, their minds are like, just bursting with so much creativity. And so that's what we're going to be doing. So music lessons with a little bit of creativity in there.
Awesome. And so tell me too, because I know a lot of people don't know. And I'm learning a lot of stuff, y'all. Now I've known Whitney for several years now, over how long she's been in business. I've known her for a while now. I never knew that Noah had the idea behind your logo.
Yes.
I never knew that. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So yes. And so tell me about your guys, because of course you have Donnie be holding it down. Donnie's be holding it down. Donnie's so cool. Yes. Donnie's so cool and chill. That's with your husband, and then your three boys, Caleb, Noah, and Jeremiah.
Yes.
So tell me about
Christina,
about your guys too, because I love the way that you guys do and work together as a family. That's always been. Yes. Oh, did we get stuck a little bit? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay, we're good. So tell me how you guys, as a family, kind of have worked through this small business journey, because sometimes that can have its challenges. It can be where you are having the kids and it's like they're involved. So tell me how it's kind of been for them too, and for you being a parent, watching them in their music journeys too.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because that was a key component too. Puretone didn't just start in 2016. It started when they were smaller. They were my first students. I taught each of them piano, and let them blossom in their own time. Starting with my oldest, Jeremiah, he did piano for a little while. Trickled all the way down to Noah and then to Caleb. But as far as that musical part, the musical theater part and things like that, we would come together when they were 1, 3, and 5. And even on I was kind of really getting into my spiritual journey with the Lord. And I would learn from a kid's Bible or from kids' resources, and we would act out stories. We would act out the stories and things like that. From this little, we had this little kidsofintegrity.org. It was like a really cool resource for me, because I was trying to learn too. So we would act the stuff out and film it. And so when it was time to, grandma had a birthday or something like that, we're singing a song, and I made them come up, I had a routine and stuff. They were my first Puretone. And so it's a beautiful thing, because they're boys, and boys are and then my oldest one is definitely in sport. They have other interests, but it's a blessing to see, when I first started this camp, I had to carry them in my back pocket. And so they were very compliant and very go with the flow. The environment and the camaraderie of the kids, praise God, it has been one of their safest places. My middle one is very quiet, but and Puretone, around his Puretone people, he can really just be himself. He talks, he opens up. And so that has really been a blessing. And even up till now, I have 2 in college and 1 is a junior now. They're now grown young men, young men. Mm-hmm. And, my youngest one is actually helping me. He helped teach summer academy, teaching the drums, teaching the kids body percussion and things like that. So it's coming full circle, and I'm excited about that. So they definitely put their 2 cents in. I'm asking them questions, y'all. How is my teaching? Are y'all, the feel of the business, all of those things. They keep me, on my P's and Q's, like, Ma, this could be this could be that. So I include them in planning, Like I said, I'm pushing Caleb to teach. I see that in him. Definitely my youngest one, in teaching and things like that. So they're all a part. My husband, you might as well say he's my partner. He's my little business manager. He's keep it fun. Make sure you keep, he's quiet too, but he's coaching me in the background and keeping things afloat. And I really appreciate my guys. Definitely.
Yes. I have always just really enjoyed to watch you guys support each other, because it's not just the performances, but like you said, when they have games and everything, and then they have this whole little cheer squad, because all of Puretone, they want to go see Caleb play when he's doing different things in marching band and sending off Jeremiah and Noah. So I just think that that's so awesome, because it's just fully that whole part. And with them being able to be the have their voice be heard in it as well. Encouraging the other kids being able to speak up and really be comfortable too. So I just love that. That's so cool.
Yes.
I had to shout out to the guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to the guys. So so I want to get into Aaron's journey coming into Puretone Academy. So like I mentioned, I had a chance to work with Whitney doing choreography. I never held a note with Whitney, just in the background, like just a little bit back here, just in the background back here. But I know how exciting it was for me to be able to, like I mentioned earlier, have that space, especially as a young adult. I want to say, what was I, maybe like 23, 24?
He was a youngin'. He's still a youngin'.
When I first got started. But yeah, I know how it was for me, and I've watched something that you do see whenever you have really, really great programs, and like Whitney just mentioned, where the kids really grow and feel comfortable, where you see them come back. I've seen her have kids that are in college now that come back and still check in, and they are able to essentially have a part of that legacy of Puretone. But we've had lots of people that have come in to collaborate with the kids. But Aaron is a part of that continual expansion. I'm so excited for you guys to be able to talk about this. Before she talks about her journey, though, Whitney, tell me a little bit about bringing in someone else to help expand in the business. Tell me how that's kind of for you, because you are a small business owner doing everything, right?
Yes.
Everything. But tell me now how it's been to that process of having someone else join in with you, doing lessons and things like that. So tell me a little bit about how.
Yes, definitely a request that I have been praying for, feeling the burden of having to do everything, even getting burnt out sometimes. Like I just can't. But Aaron has definitely been that answered prayer. I said this to the parents, like, the Lord adds blessings and he adds no sorrow to it. And that's what she's been. Lord, I know we were introduced finally, like.
That's a story in itself.
But she has her side of it, and then I have my side of it. And it's just like, I feel like we just did like this, and we're just flowing together. Literally, it wasn't like an official, like, oh, I hire you. No, it was just like our paths. And then we're walking together. And as we're walking, we're learning more and more about one another. I am seeing so much in Aaron, and I'm gleaning from her. Like I'm gleaning, and it's like the more and more we talk, the more and more I watch her teach. I'm like, okay, Lord, I see why she's here. Definitely, her connection with the students, all of them, her ways. I'm gonna give you that, mama. Like, excuse me, and she's more of like, wait a minute, let's just. Keep everything calm. I'm like, thank you, Lord. I needed that because
the mama and the auntie. Well, I think I'm
an
auntie over here. Or
you are an auntie.
Yeah.
And so just that, and like I said, even with like the music side, so the music and the creative side, she has that, as well as like the technical side and all of the things, she'll talk about it, but just all of her experiences, she's able to pull from them and use them here. And that's what I've been doing. I've taken the things that I've learned, and we're just kind of collaborate. It's a collaboration of the minds of God bringing us together. And so it's just been, and I can't believe it's only been since March, since March.
Yeah.
But we've officially been walking together with it on this journey. And it's just, it's been awesome. So I'm going to let her kind of.
Yes, Erin, tell us. So tell us about your journey and how you became a part of Puretone. Just start us there.
I'm trying to figure out where to start. All right. But I think very similar to Miss Whitney is like both having a background in music, both having a background in education. This would have been my 6th year of teaching choral music. Came from Richland 1, went to a different district and whatnot. And the funniest thing is like the position that I started in after the pandemic time was actually like following in her footsteps. So we were like walking the same hallways, but she was a few years like ahead. And it was just really, really, and I remember when I first got the job, new place, bigger place, I had all these I was just like, oh, what am I gonna do? Yeah. And I remember my lead teacher was like, get in contact with Whitney. Like, that's who you need. This is your template and whatnot. And it happened briefly at that moment, but then I was like, I think I'm gonna try to figure it out. Like, I'm gonna try to feel it out, And then, but what I noticed is while I was in that place, I found evidence of it's kind of like that breadcrumb, like I'll go in a drawer and I'll find this thing that she had put together, and I'll go over here and this. And every time that I would talk to someone that had been there for a while, her name would come up all the time. And I was just like, well, I need to meet this person, and I was like, Lord, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It was so funny. She was substitute teaching in the classroom next to me.
Wow.
And it was so funny because I finally put 2 and 2 together and I realized who it was. And I was like quaking in my boots
down here.
because I was like, Lord, I know. I was like, Lord, you're going to have me go over there, right? And I was like, I don't know about introductions. I want to be like, hi, I'm the person. So I was so nervous. And I was like, I remember the Holy Spirit was like, go over there. Go over there. I was like, I don't want to go like that. And she just walked in my room. Hey, girl. And it was so funny because
I knew it for you. I got you.
Yeah. Hi.
Wow.
So from there, it was just we started to have conversations and kind of just talk about our background, where we were from. Right. And fast forward to about March of that following year. March, April, she was doing something with Puretone, and it was the workshops, the master classes.
Get ready for Creative's performance party.
Yeah. And so this is where really starting to kind of see where I fit. At first, it was kind of just flirting with the idea, but I was still teaching. But I remember she was like, hey, I want you to do this activity with the kids and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, Lord, what I'm gonna do? I was literally minutes from getting ready to go to my own go to a church service, and the event was afterwards. I had nothing in store, nothing planned.
Wow.
And I remember the Holy Spirit gave me a song, and He gave me this melody that I had, I just kind of pat in the back pocket for a while. And I was like, I'm not using that. What? But we're not doing that. And it kept festering, kept staying. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Show me how to do it. So we wrote the song, sent it to Whitney, and she was like, oh, this is great. And I was like, what just happened?
Yes.
And it literally from that moment, it was almost like wildfire. It really, and it was so special that season was called I'm a Creative.
Yeah.
Because what it was me being available to do that. Actually, it was for them, but it's for me also.
Yeah.
So it really launched me out in the creativity, and more stuff was coming, and just things were happening, and this place like started to become a home, a home for me. I suffered a concussion like last year, getting ready to go back to work, and trying to do work like that. I was just like, my brain was like, no, we cannot compete. Like, we're not. And I was at a space where I didn't know what to do. And I got to December, I made the decision. I was like, Lord, like, I'm a jump. Don't know where, I didn't even have the plan in my mind of like what I was going to do. I just knew that season had just kind of ended, and I wanted more. And so that happened. I remember we got back connected, and we talked, just kind of being in connection about, hey, I left and whatnot. And then you called me about the after school arts program.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It's been rocking and rolling ever since.
Yeah.
Wow. It's certainly been so fun to watch you guys. I remember when Whitney was mentioning to me that she was gonna be bringing you in, and she was like, just be praying with me. I'm like, of course, like I'm always praying. And I remember seeing like the first kind of interactions that you had in the masterclass, and I had only seen the pictures. I wasn't there, but I was like, this is like uncanny. I was like, there's so much that feels like very, very, like I could just tell. And I was like, this is cool. So whenever everything kind of came back around, I was like, you know what? Like, the Lord is funny. The Lord is funny in that way. Yeah. He really is. But it's been so cool to watch that just come for Whitney. And then even as you've gotten more comfortable, Aaron, I can see it too for you, just like, and you guys being able to get into the flow. And I love that, you being able to come in and having so many of the same principles, which I think is really important whenever you do have someone that's getting ready to join you in business, especially small business, but especially dealing with kids, those you understanding, your responsibility, your own journey as you're going along, because you're essentially helping them, but them being able to watch you go through that, and everybody's encouraging each other, from you guys kids to each other to me and y'all. It's just really, really been cool. So I'm so excited for all that's going to be coming for Puretone, because it's been awesome. Yes.
I was going to say too, one of the things that I'm learning, because I even tell Aaron all the time, I'm like, learning to, for those who are in business for themselves and you're used to working for yourself, learning how that position pivots now, because it's like, I'm like this, like at this last thing that we just did, I'm so used to having the direct, and Aaron is like, no, I got it. Being and allowing people to do that, allowing your people to allow them to spread their wings, allowing them for their creativity, the way they do things, allow it, whether it sinks or swims sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But just allow it, and then work together, work through that. Always thinking forward, like, okay, I said, it feels like, okay, now I feel like I'm more a facilitator. Like, I feel like I'm the principal now versus the teacher. You know what I'm saying? And just allowing for that to, happen, allowing for that to happen, and just getting used to that. Because when you do include a teammate, it is a mindset shift. You have to now think like, okay, you have to think kind of like not forward to, but you have to think collaboratively sometimes, with who you're working with, and then learning them and accepting what the gifts that God has given. And I'm grateful. That creatives party, when we did that, one of the things that stuck out, two things stuck out, was as I was warming the kids up, Aaron just started talking. There was another kid that was very nervous. And I didn't know this until afterwards, that she had a pep talk with him. Hey, you got this. You can do this. You know what I'm saying? See, with two Whitneys, I can't be two places at one time doing that. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And she literally encouraged this person, encouraged one of the students. And I was like, yes, Lord. Yeah. Teaching my son the song that she wrote, teaching my son really quickly. Hey, I need you to, this is the keys. This. I was like, oh Lord, she get this thing down. She like,
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you. You know, so being open enough to recognize what you have, you know,
Yes.
that is important.
That's great, Whitney. That's such a
Mhm.
great point, because I know a lot of times, and I have a part of the reset series that I was doing where the biggest thing is when it comes to delegating, there's so many times that you're like, I need help, I need help, I need help. But if you don't actually know, or you haven't gotten to a place where you're settled in, this is going to be the responsibility for the people that are helping me, that help can come and go every day in the week. You know, if you know that you're at a place that it's like, okay, this is going to be the next thing that's going to come, and you are waiting for those people that are going to come, understanding truly what you need, and then recognizing it once it gets to you, and saying, okay, this is how this is how this fits. And oftentimes too, it doesn't always, like you said, it doesn't come the way that you think, you know, but being able to see those little things, those things that you know are things that can easily be taken off your plate, being able to be with the kids, being able to be multiple hands and different things like that. And then also letting them be able to blossom and do the things that you're needing for them to do, even if it doesn't look exactly like how you would do it. As long as it falls in with the vision that you have for the business, and it is helping to push everything forward, that's the best part about being able to delegate things out, and making it truly effective. So that was such a great point. Man, what a little journey we have over here. What a journey we have over here. You guys, I'm going to make sure that we have the information for Puretone Academy at the bottom of the screen. But the last things that I want to get from, I'm gonna ask both of you, because I feel like it's really important. With Whitney, you've been in business for a long time now. Aaron, you are joining in and have many other projects and things that I'm sure you're going to have come along. But Whitney, if you had to give someone some advice for starting in a small business that is providing the services that you provide, or doing music lessons or something like that, what's some things that you would say to them to encourage them to go ahead and get started?
I'm going to take what I learned from my bishop along. He said this thing and it always sticks. Form follows function. So a music teacher, you're a music teacher. Teach. Just do it. Because that's what the pattern that I've looked like. I look at people and I look at their patterns. Someone performing on stage didn't start on stage. They were performing in class. They were performing at the family reunions. They were performing and don't even know they're performing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I sing and I don't even know I'm singing sometimes. Like when I'm in conversations, like for real. I'm like, and I don't even know it.
It's so true, y'all. It's so true. We love it.
Right. You just have to do it. I think it goes back to that first answer I gave. Just start. Just teach. Don't, you know, for a music person, you love it. It's in your heart. You want to teach. You're already doing it. Just now make it available. You know what I'm saying? Take the first steps to make it available. Go to a, you know, volunteer your services, donate your time, you know, really get your craft, you know, really sharpen it and fine tune it, and things like that. But just do it. Just work, you know, just do it. Just do it. That's all I can say.
Yes, and that's
it, you know.
That's so good. And a lot of people are afraid to get started, and to get started offering those services by volunteering and doing it. But y'all, let me tell you something. That is one of the best opportunities that you can have, because when you get to a place that you're operating on a very, very, very high level, Whitney has now had kids that have gone off to college, that has gone to do major performances. I'm actually going to make sure you share a little bit about that too. But when you have those opportunities, especially when you're first getting started in something and you know, like, I have the passion to be able to do this, the best thing is, like anything else you do, if you have an athlete, anybody else, repetition. Let me tell you something. Whitney got some of my very first designs that I ever did. You know, some of my very first website things that I ever did. I look back at those things and I'm like,
it's all right, girl. It's all right. And I was so grateful.
You know, and I was so grateful that she was so grateful. But let me tell you, you know, having that opportunity, you learn so much, because no matter what your level of education is, when you're coming into something, having that repetition, that opportunity to be able to do stuff is really where it's at. And that's really how you hone those skills and get to the place where you're able to not only operate at a higher level, but then be able to reach back and help some people. Because you've had a chance to be in the thick of it. So absolutely love that. Aaron, what would you say for someone that wants to be able to get started doing this?
And this is something that kind of came to mind for me because I think it's kind of putting fire to my behind right now because there's some things we got to do.
Yes.
It's like when you have those ideas and those plans and you jot them down, I think about the scripture. It says, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, you know? And then it says for you to read it and then run. And so you got to figure out where you are in that space. You might have your vision and it might be written down. It might be vision. You might need to make it plain.
Right.
Or it might be plain and you might need to read it, or you might be at the run stage. And so it's really like knowing where you are and just like, if you're running, don't stop. Like if you're in that space, you know, you might have to. And I think it's even like a circular type thing because it's like, you may have to, while you're running, go back and look at your vision. I think one of the beautiful things about this space where me and Ms. Whitney have been is that we've had to go back and look at. We talked about the scope of like the 8 years and where it was, and so it's like read the vision again. Like, what is the main thing? What is the first thing?
The main thing?
And then go back, revise, and go back. Like, and so I'm taking it that personally for me. Thank you, Lord. But seriously, like, just allow yourself to be in that space. And, you know, as you press forward into those things, like, you're going to look back and see, like, wow, like this, all these things happen. Like,
Yeah, I can't tell you, and I'm gonna, because I know me and Winnie have had this happen before, but I can't tell you guys how important it is what Aaron just said, because you will get to different places and different things. I just had this happen yesterday. I kid you not, I have the notebook, but I had a notebook that was at the very beginning of when I was getting ready to start virtual assisting, and I had like this whole thing in my mind. I wrote it out, pen and paper, which is like how I really know I'm for real getting ready to do something, just download here from the Lord. But I wrote it out, and I kid y'all not, you know, I'm going into 3 years now, and I just found that notebook again, and seeing all those things and the things that I hadn't gone back and checked off on that notebook, but I have checked it off. Wow. So being able to see now, like some of those other things, I can see how those next steps are about to happen. Yes. I can see how things are about to grow some more and do some more. And it's different things that I've been thinking about again, like, okay, I feel like maybe it's time to do this, do that. I know it's the Lord that I found that notebook, but things like that, me and Whitney have had that happen, and it'll be like, this is a document we typed up like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and we come back and it's an idea that we've been talking about and thinking on, and it's like, it's all right here. So that's so true what you said, Aaron. It really can be a circle. It really can be, where are you at? Like where are you at in these different points? But once you get those things, writing them down, having it in some way, shape, or form, you're like, okay, I know that this is something, but that doesn't always mean it's about to be right then. It may be that year that's going to develop you to be ready for that next thing. It may be 6 months, and maybe 2 weeks. You never know, but having that plan, writing things out, letting those things formulate and come together, those things, when they come to you guys, it happens for a reason. It truly, genuinely does. It happens for a reason. But you don't know what in life is going to be your next steps to get to that point, or those plans and things out. So, and I know, Whitney, that, like I said, that's been so true for us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And also cherish your relationships. Like, people over over business, or people over your building. People, because essentially you are serving. You're in music. You know, it's not just music lessons. That's a human. That's a person. You know, you got to know them. You got to, you know, how can I help them? How can I make this connect through my channel? You know, through what I'm doing. And so, yes, people. You got to start learning how to really take care of your relationships. Be a good steward of your relationships.
Yes. Because and I wanted you to be able to tell a little bit, and then we're wrapping up here, but just some of the kids that you've had a chance to work with, some of the projects and stuff that they've gone on to do. And we actually had a couple of weeks ago, when we did our AIM concert, she had a student, y'all, that came back, your state was from middle school, had gone on to record some of her own projects and stuff like that. So I know you have them up here, but what are some of the projects that some of your students have gone on to do and to work on?
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. So I've had students to be in SCAD, now working in full out musical theater, doing design, lighting. The young lady you were referring to was one of my first students, and she has gone on to record. I'm trying to get her over here, like, come on and join me and Aaron and teach, and things like that. But she especially was one that didn't even think she could sing because her voice was different. Her voice, she had a unique sound, let's put it like that. And just to see her blossom into this beautiful young lady, and her voice is, she just so refreshing. Oh my goodness. And so much more. So just to see her, I have students now who are now DJing. They're creating their own music. And so even the ones I have here right now that I'm working with, I have one student. He is a avid comic book writer, author, illustrator. Let's put him like that.
Yeah.
He is. He creates his own superheroes, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like his music, like I'm trying to encourage him to learn the note names. Learn your note names so we can get to the chords, because we want to create a theme song for your superhero, sir, and so just making sure they understand, like, your parents have you in this because they see your gift, but this is how it works for you, things like that. So, and we can't wait to launch them at KJ and Michaela. She wrote a play. Yeah. And we acted out the play, put it on stage for her. Yeah. KJ, he wants to be a pastor and a praise and worship leader. And he had the chance to do it. We were his backup. The ensemble backed him up. Yes. And he had his own concert. So that's what we're doing.
Yes. And I love that, because you see so many kids, they don't even realize that this is how their favorite person that does this or this or this is how they got started. This is how the pieces connect. And so I love the impact that it makes on the kids and that it makes on the community, because it reminds the community that these things are important. At the end of the day, no matter what you think of anybody else's career, we all love to watch movies. We all love TV. We all love music. We all love performances. We all love these different things because they help us to just enjoy life. Yes. But all of that comes from somewhere. So being able to encourage that part of their gift through what you guys do is so awesome. Puretone has a lot more that's coming. I will have all of you guys information. They have fall lessons, and we'll be going and traveling and doing some things hopefully too. But if you are interested in Puretone Academy, make sure that you check out the website. That should be coming down below. I'll have all of Whitney's information. If you have any questions for any of us about anything that you heard during this interview, you want to get some more information, for sure, let us know. I really hope this is encouraging. I mean, I've had a chance to talk with these ladies and work with these ladies, but this was super encouraging to me. So I'm glad that we got a chance to do this. Make sure that you stay tuned. We're going to be doing some other special things with Puretone Academy throughout the rest of their feature for their Inspired Community Highlights with Krista. And again, thank you, Whitney, for encouraging and pushing me to do this. You have definitely been a big part of my small business journey. So I very much so appreciate that. Let me double check and make sure we don't have anything else that we need to hit. I'll have all your contact information. Let's see. So you guys stay tuned. Make sure that you catch the next interviews that are going to be coming up. And then we also have August, which is Black Business Month. So we're going to be talking about a lot of Black-owned businesses, how they get started, a lot of resources that are going to be coming up. And then we'll be continuing doing some mini vlogs and some journeys with you guys. So make sure you stay tuned. I will have some tools and some videos. Oh, wait, I haven't. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all help me, because I've been trying to get an outro, and this is supposed to be something I've done a couple of different ones, but I don't know what we want to do for the outro yet, because me, I'll just be like, bye. And that's
Mm.
peace out, Girl Scouts. Just bye. So that's been my outro for right now. So I will say I'm Christina, Bell Krista LLC, Bell Krista Administrative Solutions. Hey, Bell Krista Design Co. And I think
Hopefully you've been inspired. I hope you've been inspired.
I felt that.
I hope.
Or hopefully you've been inspired. Or
yes.
Yes.
I like it. Okay, let's do it.
No, you've been inspired.
You've been inspired.
You've been inspired.
Okay. My name is Christina. This has been, well, let me start. My name is Christina. This has been my guest. Hey Bell Krista YouTube channel, and you've been inspired. Yay! Bye.
Bye. Bye.